Okay, I'm back making another video. Jessica Jones Files number 3. This is Evee Croft, and I don't really know how I'm gonna start off this video. But if I were a character in that series, if I were an actor, a character in this specific series, if I was on that Trish Talk podcast on the show, like, I would want to talk about many things. But yeah, I don't really know how long this video is gonna be. I just wanted to try and talk and discuss about what's kind of been happening. What's been going on, all across this place. Because there's just a lot of shit going on right now, especially with the planets and the alignment of the planets. Making everybody's energies just go off the rails. Something is happening in between the dimensions. A kind of convergence of energies, if you will. And there are there's just a whole lot of fucking things going on behind the scenes that most people just don't know about. Or that's the thing, do they even care about it? Do they even care about going deeper than just the surface level, the surface norm of things? It's like, is there anything deeper that goes in your mind when thinking about these kinds of things? Like with these people, it just seems like, most of these people just don't really want to think about anything deep, because it's too much work for them, I guess. But I'm coming on here as Evee Croft, and I don't know, I guess I just wanted to talk about a few different things. I don't know if they're going to be interesting or if they're not going to be interesting, but I don't know. I don't really know. I'm just sitting on my bed trying to talk and try and think about these different kinds of things regarding, like, what's really going on, like, why. I mean, I feel like certain things are changing for the better, I guess, but I don't really know these things, I don't really know what's going on, because we're always going off and going off ideas and judging things off just off social media and the internet, and it's like sometimes you need to not go off social media and the internet, Sometimes you need to just try and think for yourself and not go off social media or the internet about what you're thinking about. But for today's people today don't they can't think for themselves anymore. They just can't. A lot of these people now, they're using ChatGPT to think for them. And that's Android level thinking. That's kind of, not original at all, not unique at all. When trying to use and portray your thoughts, it's just like, no, well, you're just basing your thoughts off of, what AI is telling you, what this internet's telling you. You're not really actually thinking for yourself anymore. And it just takes a lot of willpower to think for yourself and not having to go off this social media, internet stuff, like, all the time, like, when you think. It's just, that's not natural. It's really not natural. But anyways, I don't really know where I'm going with this video. I'm just kind of like bantering, babbling. But yeah. I don't really know where I was headed with this video, but I don't know. Is this video going to be interesting or is it going to be boring? I don't know. I'll just post it on my channel anyway. And, I haven't thought that I needed to make any more videos because there's just nothing interesting to talk about anymore. And in my life, I'm trying to make my life as fruitful as I can make it, but in this day and age, it just seems that kind of stuff that just seems impossible. Just to make something go fruitful in your life, it's like you gotta work for that too. Because everything just wants to stay the same. This earth and people, they don't want to change. So I try to, with certain things that go on in my daily life, I try and make it as pleasant and as fruitful of a day as I can. But sometimes it doesn't happen like that. Sometimes I have to deal with a really boring day without nobody talking to you or, discussing things, just having that like-minded conversation. Sometimes it's hard to get people to, sometimes for me, it's hard to get people to converse in like-minded conversations with you. Sometimes you just have to go through a really boring day without anybody talking to you at all. And, with there being no conversations about anything, you just kind of just have to deal with it and just try and be in your own head and like create things. You have to create your own world. You have to try and create your own world when most of the time you do feel isolated. Most of the time. You have to try and create your own world and then be in that reality, in that world, like for yourself. Just to try and cope. To try and cope with just daily life and reality, just being like just just really so boring. you know. It's just always, there's just always negative. Always negative outcomes when you go out in that world. It's like it's not worth it. And I guess I'm talking like this, like from like an outsider's, outcast's perspective. So, if any of you guys listen to this, great, and you like it. If you don't, I don't know, but I think I'm gonna try and end it here. Okay, hope you guys like the video, and I'll talk to you guys in another one soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.